Thanks for joining me today, Daryl. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy to talk to you, my cousin.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to say a little bit about you. You obtained your undergraduate degree at Clark University, Atlanta. And
hmm
I forgot, what did you mark it in, major in?
Major in at the time it was mass communications. Now they call it mass media arts. So I was a concentration in film major, but
Oh,
I started acting in theater, and the rest is history.
right, right. And then you got your master's in fine arts at Roosevelt in Chicago, correct?
Yep, that's
And
right.
what year
2002,
was that? What year
May
was
2002.
that?
Yep.
Okay, okay. I just
Yeah,
remember,
you were there for all of it.
yeah, I remember I lived right down the street from you then. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's good time. Good time.
yes, yes. So actually, before we start, I just wanted to say that the reason why I'm doing this series is because I wanted to um, try to get a number of people regarding like health and wellness and mind, body, spirit uh, that are melanated or of
No
color.
doubt. No doubt.
Speak to the public about what it is that melanated people or people of color need to be doing regarding this COVID-19 virus.
Yeah.
And will you comment on, because I'm familiar with the term melanated, but
Yes.
some people that are like in my age group or older may not
Uh-huh.
be familiar with the term melanated.
So, first of all, when I hear people of color, I hear colored people.
Mhm.
That's first. Second, when I hear minority, I hear minor, which is like a child. So those two don't work for me.
Mhm.
And black is a crayon.
Mhm.
So I say melanated because it's basically that's what makes our skin brown.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of power. All races have melanin, some more than others. So I say that. I also say regal brown. That's something I just made up because I like the way it sounds. So that's another one of mine.
Yeah, I was born in the '60s, so
Yeah.
I'll say I tend to say black and brown more. I'll say black and browns more, but then that kind of I want to include the Asian people too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so melanated that's fine. That's
Yeah, it
yeah,
includes all of them. And
yeah,
people don't realize is that they show us the Asians that they want to show us. They're Asians with afros and big noses and big lips like us.
yes, yes, there
So,
are.
you want to check if you want to see some of them, you can go to Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Color series. He shows
I've
Asians with
seen that.
afros and
I've
big
seen
noses
the
and big
Hidden
lips.
Color series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a must. Yeah, I think every melanated child should watch Hidden Colors, the series.
Mhm. Mhm. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So we've been talking recently about your company, and why don't you tell
Mm-hmm.
me about the name of your company and tell me why you started this company?
Well, the name of my company is A Leading Man. The website is A Leading Man Productions because we produce a lot of different things, services and products. But I started the company because I was broken. Um, I was broken. I think it started, as you know, my birth mother passed when I was 2, and I had abandonment issues, and I didn't have any memories, and that was tough. That was tough to not have those memories. And in our family, we've gone through a lot of people passing on. So,
Mhm.
you have, one of the things you can lean on is memories.
Mhm.
And so it affected that those abandonment issues affected the women I dated, everything. I mean, the woman I ended up marrying, we're not married anymore. The one I ended up marrying was a mother. There was a reason for
Mhm.
that I didn't completely realize at the time. So in my mind, I was a broken man. So I went through a lot of different series. I don't want to get too much into what I went through, but I went through a lot of different situations where life just seemed like it was way harder than it needed to be, and I was not in a good place. And I was like, I'm working too hard, and I don't like myself, and I don't like what I'm doing. I just started working on myself, and I remember this one time. I won't get into the entire story where I was out one night and the voice inside of me let me know that something was going to happen and I was going to be stranded. And I didn't listen and I got stranded, and it took me 6 hours to get home. And I couldn't sleep because I was like, this is just, I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. But the thing I could hang my hat on is that there was a voice inside of me that could look into the future and tell me what was going to happen. And then when my back was against the wall, that voice came back and told me how to get home. So the one thing I can hang my hat on is there's something inside of me that can look into the future. People, we don't think about it that way, but that's pretty powerful. So I was like, let me get to know this voice. And so I named the voice the divine whisper.
Intuition.
People call it intuition. People call it your first mind, which is what it is. People call it instincts. It's like that voice that tells you, don't go that way. Then you find out there was a big accident that way. I call it my divine whisper.
Yeah, some people call it like their angels or God, or
that too.
Like whatever fits you, right?
Exactly. And so for me, divine whisper made sense because it was divine. I knew that. And it was always calm. The voice was the ego voice is loud and chatty and scary, but that voice was always calm. And so the more I got to know that voice, the more I got to know myself, the more I got to know God, and the more I got to know that that voice was me and God connected. And and then the other thing that I love about that voice and that God in me is that no one can tamper with that God in me without my permission. So once I got in tune in that way, me being a natural teacher, I'm like, well, you know what? And an entrepreneurial spirit, having that, I was like, I want to turn this into a company. I want to help other people because, I watch people, we're very reactionary people. It's like, oh, it's a Monday. Today's going to suck. Oh, it's raining outside. Today's going to suck. We react instead of, get up earlier and get on top of the day and manipulate your emotions. Because that's really what the work we do is. To feel the way you need to feel and prepare yourself for what you need to prepare for, so that I no longer have bad days. I have bad moments, but I don't have bad days. So it's the transformation that is continuing to happen to me has made my journey amazing. It's not hard anymore. It's not a grind anymore. And as melanated people, we are addicted to struggle. We are addicted to struggle.
So true, and that's what I was thinking about. Said that because what I was also thinking about is that we're addicted to struggle, and it also goes back one more step, that because we're so traumatized, so it's post-traumatic behavior.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So we, in a sense, we all are broken, and need to, really work on ourselves and look at different ways. I mean, as you hear that term, I heard my daughter, my 16-year-old say the other day, it's an everyday struggle. It's like, we just live this life that thinking that it's supposed to be hard. And it's not, and I know we won't get into this later, but I'm here now. We are very rhythmic people. We are very, we are people who are full of energy and so
and good ideas.
Oh my God, amazing ideas. So our strength is our spirituality. Now, I'm not speaking on a specific religion, but just being spiritual. You know what I mean? I think laughing out loud is a spiritual experience. I mean, one of the most spiritual experiences you can have. That's why I said at the beginning, my daughters and I, we're good because we just keep laughing and loving. That's what we do. That's kind of our mantra for the family, and their mom included too. Which we are not together, but through laughing and loving, we were able to both heal and become better parents for our kids. So I'm big on spirit. Like we think of spiritual as being like like that kind of stuff.
It's not religion. Spirituality is not religion.
No, not at all. Not at
Yeah,
all.
people that need to learn the difference, just look that up on YouTube and look up Oprah, because Oprah talked about it a lot on her show, the difference.
Yeah, and I love her show, but I can't really mess with Oprah anymore. But we'll leave that alone. We're not gonna get into
I know.
that. but that show was great. I mean, it was amazing. Super Soul Sunday is amazing. It helped me a lot on my journey for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're exactly right. I think spirituality is a very personal, intimate relationship with yourself and the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it is. So, no one can really define that for you. That's something that you need to discover for yourself. So yeah, definitely, for sure. But as a people, we are spiritual people. Our strength is not capitalism. Our strength is not individual, just being, it's about me and that's it. Our strength is in unity and union and family and spirituality and making a way out of no way in a flow state, not in a struggle, not in a grind. But
Ooh,
we
I
are
love to
flow.
hear
We
you
are
say
flow.
flow state. That's one of my favorite things to learn about these days. How to
Okay,
get
we'll be talking
flow
afterwards
state.
because I teach. Because that's part of what I teach.
Oh.
Because you can actually find flow state on call. It's actually possible to do. But it's connected with your spirituality. It's the same thing. So we can definitely build on that for sure. But yeah, we are flow. We flow. We're best when we're flowing, not when we're struggling, not when we're grinding, not when we're victims. Not when we see ourselves as victims. Because not to say that we have not gone through a lot, but if we want to find our way out of it, it's from within. It's from within.
So how has the COVID-19, the new virus, how has it affected you personally? And has anyone been diagnosed?
Thankfully, no one I know has been diagnosed, but it has affected me. I'm still part human, so I don't know what day it is most of the time. I get cabin fever, but there's always a flip. I mean, here's the other thing that's wild that I hate that happens. It's like every time you clear your throat, it's like a personal investigation of it. Is that a sore throat? What is that? So it's that thing. But I pride myself on not being fearful, but that happen. Those things happen. And so there's a flip side. You can always flip that coin. I mean, this is the first time since I was a baby that I was not a slave to time. And that's beautiful. And we just talked about how creative of a people we are. Man, it's so much. I mean, it's greatness, like just doing yoga in the wee hours of the morning with candlelight just because it just feels right or whatever, that's the fun part about it. Or, binge watching a couple of shows or starting on that book, going to see my daughters more often. I mean, that's everything, so.
Or when you wake up, just sitting in the bed meditating for a half hour. Right?
Exactly. Oh my God, my meditation, I don't need a timer anymore because I'm not going somewhere.
Right.
So I can just, I can meditate 2-3 times a day, which is, I think, very important right now. Like spiritual enriching is huge right now. Work on yourself right now. Work on yourself. And I think a lot of the problems that people are having, I don't think are about the virus. I think it's because they have used work and entertainment as a distraction, and now they don't have a distraction, and they hate themselves, and they're taking it out on their spouse or their partner, saying it's your fault. No, they hate themselves, and they have no more distractions.
Well,
but that's a good thing.
I saw Bruce Lipton put up a video on YouTube a couple days ago talking about how he believes that it's like the placebo or what's the other term they use? It's like the placebo effect. Like a lot of people are getting sick because they're so fearful.
Yes. You draw it to you with the fear. You draw it to you with the fear. It's like it's really law of attraction, which people need to get down on too. Yeah. It's law of attraction.
That's not saying people should be going out and
no
getting in the groups of
Yeah.
more than 10 or whatever, you know, they should not be doing that. But we're just saying the mindset is a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, be cautious and careful, but don't let it, you know, it's an attack on your mind as much as anything. And everything starts in the mind. I mean, you can heal yourself through your mind. You know, we know these different types of things that you can do. You know, it all starts in the mind. So make sure that your mind is good. And when it comes to meditation, there are a lot of people I know that don't think that they convince themselves that they can't meditate. They're not good at meditating. It's because we've been taught that meditation is one way, and that's not true. So like what I teach, you know, is a little different. You know, yes, you can sit up, but I actually don't fall asleep when I lay down on my mat, and I can find perfect posture there. So I lay down, that's me. But for any, you know, regardless of how you want your stance to be, close your eyes, take deep, calming love breaths, like use your breath to relax you, intentional breathing. And then just let go of expectations, let go of judgment, let go of trying to clear your mind. Just let go. Because the thoughts are going to go by, and as Phil Jackson says, it's like logs on the river. They're going to go by. I mean, the point is that eventually,
the monkey mind.
yeah, eventually, but eventually you will quiet the ego. It may take a day, it may take 2 weeks, it may take 2 months, but eventually your ego will run out of things to scare you about. And you will get in tune with that divine whisper. And that's where you can find, you know, infinite wisdom, infinite creativity, infinite abundance. I mean, it's just, that's where, you know, that's where the fun starts. So, you know, I don't see meditation like most people see it. I look forward to it. And I didn't used to be that way. It used to be something to cross off my to-do list. I would do it once or twice a week. And, you know, I felt better, but I didn't take ownership of it. Once I took ownership of it, built my healing garden, which is what I call my space where I do my work, you know, now it's whatever I want it to be.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think I learned from Thich Nhat Hanh that there are so many different forms of meditation. And also, like I tell my patients to think about if they have problems with the sitting still and all that, like Thich Nhat Hanh teaches like walking meditation, you know, like walking on a labyrinth, or just walking on the, you know, like on the lakefront where you live, and doing it in a methodical way and quietly, not talking to someone and not to the phone, not listening to music, but being one with nature. And then also like Pilates or yoga is a mind-body exercise. So it's a form of meditation where you have
yoga
to
is a moving meditation. Yeah, they're moving meditations.
focus on your breathing.
Yeah,
So it is a
I
moving.
think I've turned cooking into meditation because, you know, I'm not leaving the house often. So it's like, you know, like our grandmother used to cook with a lot of love, very intentionally. I bought purple carrots. They're good right now. Any of the bell peppers, and I like using different colors: orange, yellow, red, green. It makes your food more colorful. Spinach is always a go-to. We talked about parsley and oregano, the plants, and how amazing they are, and strong and alkaline. And all these foods I just named are either strong and alkaline and or are immune boosters. I'm making smoothies every morning. So that's good. I put emergency in my smoothies. Sometimes I boost my vitamin C. So again, we're careful, we're cautious, and we're not fearful. You know,
And
fear is not fertile. Nothing grows from fear.
You're talking about feeding the soul in more than one type of way.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And this is a great time for it. So if you are struggling with self right now, this is a good time to do some mirror work and forgive yourself. You know, if you are angry at someone, there's a part of you that needs to forgive yourself before you can forgive that person. So like the mirror work I do, it's you know, you want to untrap some emotions. You're going to cry. Okay, how tough you are, you're going to cry.
You teach all that in your programs, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do soul collage and poetry workshops. We do retreats. Still doing plays. I always be doing plays, Serena. Always. That's my first love. I'm a
Mhm.
storyteller first, so yeah, we do a lot of these different types of things.
So, has the pandemic affected your business?
Definitely, definitely. But I'm a believer in multiple sources of income. We're in that type of world. We have been for a while. So we have obviously postponed our retreats, our interpersonal connections. We are focusing on our online courses. We're focusing on our books. Working on a book with my daughter right now. I'm very excited about working on our mastermind. So we're just working remotely. So it has affected it, but because we have multiple sources, we're okay.
Just restate the name of your website again.
Yeah,
Okay.
leadingmanproductions.com. And it's a little different. It's not a lot. It's text on there. Definitely you can read about the company, but we have a video blog on there where you can watch videos of we call them poetic intervisions. They're very rhythmic, but it's telling the story about the company and different parts of the company and what we're all about. So it's a really cool website. We're really happy about it and proud of it.
I practice functional medicine, and in the functional medicine matrix, the central node of the matrix is the mental, emotional, spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why the center node is the mental, emotional, spiritual is because we are trying to get the patient or the the person that's working with us. I try not to call them patient anymore because it's more of a
Mm,
partnership. Um,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so the center node is the mental, emotional, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
because that controls all the systems of the body. All the biological systems of the body are controlled by the mental, emotional, spiritual. And that's not
Right.
saying that people's, whatever their issues, their medical issues are, it's not to say that it's in their head. It's to say that the nervous system, the mental, emotional, spiritual is like controlling the response of the body to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So negative emotions manifest as illnesses.
Disease.
This, so what can melanated people do to take care of their mental, emotional, and spiritual health during the pandemic?
This is a great time to be doing this work. First of all, do your spiritual work. So I would say the first thing you need to do is watch the news as little as possible. Be on social media on the trash side of the social media game. Be on that side of the game as little as possible, because they're when it comes to the news at this point, they're newscasters. They're disguised as newscasters. They're really fear mongers, and it's bad for your health. So watch it as little as possible. I would say go to the CDC websites. So watch it as, really just cut it off. That's first. Take your mind back. Take your mind back. There's a lot of things that are working on your mind that we may see, that I used to see as like, these are my core values. No, it's something that was taught to me. It was something that was told to me. So, what's her name? Jane Elliott. She's a white lady who works with white folks and teaches them that they're racist. And she said,
Oh yeah, yes, I've seen a
yeah.
lot of her videos. She's very good. And
So
actually, they people that are non-melanated are also traumatized.
that's where I was going. That's where I was going. Because she said
Mhm,
to white people, if you are not a racist, you weren't paying attention in school, which is true. But
mhm,
if you turn it around and look at us,
mhm.
then that means we all suffer from, what's the
Right.
name of that term?
Yeah, you start sympathizing with your
We
oppressor.
we all have we all, it'll come to us. We all have a sense of that. We all have it.
Mhm,
So we, in a sense, we're all sellouts.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
So come to terms with that and to take your mind back. And a great way to start is meditation. It
mhm.
really is. And really, again, study. I give you a YouTube channel to check out. Real Nagas, REELNAGAS. You know about him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Start there, and you can learn a lot more about how powerful your melanin is. The same DNA that's in your grandfather is in you. So, you know, your ancestors really lived through you. I've really started adding ancestor work. So I call it my miracle morning magic. I started adding ancestor work to it, which has been amazing. The intervision, the vision work, which I call heroic intervisions of you seeing, you living your desires, your true desires out, how you feel in that space, how you know, what do you see, who are you with, what are you tasting, touching, feeling, and you start feeling those emotions like you're in that space. And once you get to that point, what you are envisioning has to become a reality. It's the law of attraction. So you start envisioning what you desire and put yourself in that world, because we're creative people. So I call them 2-minute mental movies. Take yourself through those movies. Victorious vernacular. So being able to say mantras. One of my favorite ones is a simple one. You can just say all day long is everything is working out for me in divine order. So throughout this COVID-19, I'm saying everything is working out. Everything is going to be fine. We're okay. Even if people pass on, I don't believe in death. So I think they're evolving anyway.
Right.
So, you
Just
know,
another dimension.
it's just another dimension, you know, so get in, you know, take your mind back. I think is the first thing I would tell my, you know, my people, and get into you and the God in you. Get to know you as best as possible, but use this time. And what I say to everybody is 90 to 95% of what you're watching, listening to, or reading at this point needs to be uplifting, educational, inspirational, empowering, hilarious, thrill creating content. That's what you need to be on right now. You know, not shoot my mama in the face. You know, you don't need to be on that. You know, you don't need to be on even like I get on my daughter and their mom about watching Criminal Minds. I'm like, man, that's some sick stuff, first of all. But I'm like, why are y'all watching this? But that's what I'm on. So that means you can watch 20 stand-up comedies in a row if you want. If you laughing out loud, that's a beautiful thing. So stop watching stuff that's draining your spirit, because that's what it's doing. Or stop being around people that drains your spirit. Get into those things that uplifts your spirit. So watch those types of things. You know, and the beautiful thing about technology is that we literally can choose what we want to watch at all times. So choose wisely. Choose wisely. You know, you can get back up and watch Malcolm X speeches and hear him talking about how beautiful we are. You know what I mean? So there's so many different places you can go, but don't go to the negative. And if someone is you know, in that space of fear, I would say try to get away from it if you can. If not, you know, you being in tune with the Most High is more powerful. And this is a quote from Abraham Hicks, than a million people who are not in tune. You by yourself is more powerful in tune, in flow, and on purpose. That's what we teach. Than a million people who are not. So you are powerful. That's what our people need to know, how powerful we are, and that, you know, we are magic. You know what I mean? We really are. Like we don't. Babies are born every day.
We have no idea of how powerful we are.
No, but everybody else does.
Yes.
Everybody else does.
Which is why they're always trying to stomp on us.
Exactly. So, you know your power. Understand, like the reason I'm a yogi and the reason I teach yoga, Serena, is because I didn't have to go research this, and I did, but I was like, this is ours. I could feel it in my melanin. And I was like, this is mind, body, and spirit. Oh man, I got to get our people on this. So, you know, I'm always trying to, you know, release the big stigma of it. I got a couple of the homies to come through. You know, because I play hip hop, I play, you know, soul, I play jazz. I don't know why nobody's playing Sade in yoga classes. I don't know why no one's playing Sade in yoga classes.
They do up here.
Okay, they don't here.
But it depends on who's teaching it.
Right. So I'm playing the stuff that we like, you know, and my class is called Rhythmic Meditation.
You were talking about this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask the question. How can, and I forgot to say, love the Abraham Hicks statement.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. So, how can melanated people address the wounds of oppression and mistreatment in this country? And you already talked about that
Yeah,
somewhat,
yeah.
like talking about healing the wounds.
I mean, it starts with the mind. So one of the things we do is we fire the former director of our mind. That needs to happen for us and our people. We need to uh, free ourselves of the addiction of struggle and capitalism. Like, I'm an actor, as you know. I had dreams of going to the Oscars and winning my Oscar. I knew how I was going to take. I mean, like, all of that. And I divorced myself from the Oscars. Like, I don't watch it. I remember telling our cousins,
It's such a
I don't
farce.
care. I don't care
It's
anymore.
such a farce.
Yeah, it is. It is. Just like, so our value systems, which starts within, our value systems needs to be changed. If we don't change our mind state and our
Mm-hmm.
thought process, then
Mm-hmm.
we're playing games.
Mm-hmm.
We have to really start working on getting tired of our own bullshit. Stop blaming anybody for our problems. Stop blaming black women, black men, white folks, anybody for our problems, because we know how powerful we are. And once we get into it and employ it on purpose, then it's over. It doesn't mean that we're going to destroy anybody, because we're not. I don't think we're that kind of people.
We're
It's just that
not.
we're going to get back. And I believe it's already happening. I believe so. That's the beautiful thing. I believe we're in the middle of it happening. So I believe that the eclipse that happened in 16 was bringing in the age of Aquarius. We were formerly in the age of Pisces. That's why the fish represents Jesus, and it's the age of I believe. We are now, in my opinion, in the age of I know. So I believe people are, things that, it's the, my friend said it beautifully. She said, we're starting to see who the wizard is now in the Wizard of Oz. Like, the curtain is down. We see the wizard. You know what I mean? So I think it's great times for us. We need to have some serious discussions with ourselves, and we need to break up the way we see the American dream and what that is as a whole. That includes a lot of different things under that. Krishnamurti is another great philosopher. I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember the exact quote, but he basically says there's no honor in becoming successful in the wicked society. And I think we need to start looking at it in that way. I know that's harder, than, it's like, what? That doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does if you think about it, because, it's like, I mean, not to get too political, but it's hilarious how, if you're really paying attention, the Democrats really are acting like Republicans, and Republicans are acting like Democrats. Like, Joe Biden has a sexual assault case, and they're covering up like they did for Kavanaugh. So, it's just funny. So the things are crumbling down. This is a great time for us to rise. And it starts within. Get spiritual, get in tune with yourself. You will find, again, when you become one with the divine whisper in you, the God in you, and become connected, you enter into a space of infinite abundance, infinite wisdom, infinite creativity. So get in tune with the God in you is the number one thing I would say to our people.
I wanted you to talk a little bit about the workshop that you put on recently, named after Aunt Nola, just so people could get a taste of,
Sorry,
what your
change
past
spaces.
workshops have been like.
It's one of my most proudest achievements. Not because I honored her
Mm-hmm.
as an amazing poet, storyteller with 2 amazing poetry books,
Mm-hmm.
but I got a chance to feature those at the retreat. But it got a chance to help future storytellers, future creative people. So it's called the Nola Richardson Creative Storytelling and Wellness Retreat. We're going to do it again and again and again and
Okay.
again. It's
Okay.
for storytellers. Part 1 is basically called Natural Fertilizer for Your Creative Seeds. So it starts out with meditation. I teach a spoken word yoga, and then we end with a visual prayer treatment. So part 2 is literally, it's a 2-hour writing session. So this is an all-day event. During that writing session, we have a masseuse there. You want to step away from your writing, get you a 10-minute massage, it's all inclusive. You want to step away, get yourself a 10-minute Reiki healing, it's all inclusive. So after, and that's part 2 is called shining your creative light on your seeds. And then part 3 is the new sharecropping. And basically we talk about the experience, what was different about this creative experience, and others that the natural fertilizer at the beginning help your creative process. We've identified natural fertilizer for your creative seeds. What is unnatural fertilizer that you can maybe replace with natural? So maybe you say, you know what, I'm gonna go to bed 30 minutes earlier and wake up 20 minutes early and meditate before I get ready for my day. We network. You can share your work. We break bread, and we stay connected with these storytellers. We want to know what's going on with their project. We want to know what they're finished, and when they're done, we want to help them get it out there. So that's the Nola Richardson Creative Storytelling and Wellness Retreat, and it's fabulous. Everybody, including the people who worked it, we all felt great afterwards. Everybody felt amazing for a few days, actually.
Thanks for that little recap.
Oh, no doubt.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to feature on this video, or that you wanted to say?
Yeah, I want to talk about the things that A Leading Man Productions, I call it A Leading Man Productions because of the website, that we're doing remotely. One thing I'm very happy about is the online course that we are actually about to do the launch to sign people up, actually starting next week. It's called Find Flowers in the Ashes, and it's for men who are going through a breakthrough. And what it does is that and this is what I do because I'm a wellness specialist. So I collaborate with our clients to create and cultivate a positive, healthy, and balanced wellness lifestyle. So that's the main thing we do. That's what we're doing in that online course. We're very excited. I'm the person who I've gone through a separation. I've gone through a divorce. I've gone through a lot of people, passing on. I've gone through a midlife crisis. So I think I'm the perfect person to teach this class because I've been through it and I'm still smiling. So we're excited about that. The book that my youngest daughter, Kayla Patrice, and I are working on is actually called Finding Flowers in the Ashes too. Oh. So and it's for, obviously it's for anybody who has gone through a breakdown, through loss and grief. And we teach you how to turn that into a breakthrough of faith and love. And so I'm writing the short stories and the poems, and my daughter is doing the artwork. She's an abstract artist. I can't wait for the world to see her artwork. Like she creates pictures of people's pain, what they're really going through. It's something amazing. So she's learning graphic design, as you know, as we speak. Mm-hmm. And that book will be coming out sometime this year. We were supposed to be spring this year. We're going to push it back a little bit. So it'll be the fall of this year. Mm-hmm. And then finally, we're creating the Wild Chaser Mastermind. So this is going to be 6 young adults, 6 professionals, and we're going to be all working together. I'm going to be one of those 6. Joel Best, who is a team member of A Leading Man Productions, brilliant young man. He's going to be one of the 6 young adults. And basically what we're doing is our goal is for all 12 to create 5 sources of income, 2 being passive, all 12. And
that's the one I asked to be in, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we're very excited to have you there, here. But we're picking people where the collaboration is easy and effortless. And we're picking creative geniuses. We're picking progressive spirits. We're picking people who find a way or make one. Picking people where we're like, you know what, that person is a love and light being. So these are people who are creators, they're healers. This is going to be a special group. So we're very, very, as you can see, very excited about that. And man, it's going to be something amazing. So the future is bright for A Leading Man. The future is bright.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. We talked for a while.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm so happy that you agreed to do this.
Oh, man.
That's gonna be the end of the recording.
Okay. All right, Sarah.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.